Welcome, Libra, to your beginning of the month reading. This is for April 5th through the 16th. Hope you all are doing great. Okay. Welcome back, all subscribers, and anyone new, welcome to my channel. If you like this, please like and subscribe. I hope that you had checked out what your soul wants you to know about love. I did a little mini reading for you guys. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get into this and see what you're thinking and feeling in your energy. Okay, it looks like you might be having some doubts and insecurities. It could just be what's going on right now. I am kind of feeling that. The way the world is working right now kind of has you feeling a little insecure. Okay. Not knowing what's going to turn around the corner tomorrow. Okay, so let's use Oracle cards to resonate on that and see exactly what's going on. See, how is this? Okay, trying to keep the spiritual strength, trying to keep the hope alive, right? You might be trying to keep faith, right, during this hard times. I really am feeling this has a lot to do with the insecurities of, like I said, what's going on right now with this isolation period and everybody being home. Not a whole lot of people might not be essential at this time, okay? So you're feeling like you're in the waiting game while you're feeling this insecurities. You feel like you're just waiting around for things to change, okay? And in your past you had a little conflict and you might have felt defeated, right? Doesn't feel like it's that long ago, but you do have the rest and rejuvenation in the upside down for the, near future. Okay, meaning that you're not really needing to, you don't feel like you really need to meditate anymore. Maybe you've already been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of prayer work, a lot of faith, maybe even some faith healing is what I'm hearing, you know, and keeping yourself flowing, right, in that area. Staying hopeful. Okay, so let's clarify on the conflict and defeat first. I think we'll go that way first. Yeah, you're feeling like your prosperity and fertility is upside down because you had where the prosperity was doing good. Now you're feeling like it's not going the way that you want it to go. Okay, and you don't really feel like you need to self-sacrifice. You don't want to self-sacrifice. Maybe you felt like you've already self-sacrificed so much that even before that you did not want to do it in the near past. Okay, you just did not want to do so, or maybe it made you have to do so and it was something you didn't want to do, okay, which gave you mental conflict. Okay, so we're just going to clarify on that real quick, try to figure out what's going on here. The self-sacrifice card is making a transition that's fully for the best of everybody. Okay, and you felt like you did not really want to do this. You felt like this was something that it was going to, I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm feeling it like it's kind of imbalanced. It feels very imbalanced, that self-sacrifice card being upside down. You wanted your Ace of Cups. You felt like you had your Ace of Cups, and that's where the prosperity, you were already in your prosperity. You were feeling very good. You felt like you were on the winning streak. And this is, I'm thinking at work, and then the Four of Swords is coming through. So I'm thinking this Four of Swords is probably where you started feeling like you didn't want to self-sacrifice. You did not want to leave work, okay, because it wasn't something that you felt that was the greatest solution for yourself or your family, okay? Yeah, so you had the resentment and you had resentment towards this, okay? This was something you did not want to do, okay? So it put you into mental conflict, okay? With the Two of Pentacles, you didn't even want to think about this. You weren't going to juggle this idea, okay? You didn't want to take any action towards this. You felt that what they were telling you by going home was going to be a waste of your prosperity, okay? You felt, because you didn't believe that, yeah, yeah, it was, wow, because you just really wanted to stay in your prosperity. This really gave you mental conflict. Of course, it would give you mental conflict, though, because if they're telling you you're not going to work, then you're not going to get a paycheck. So how is this going to make me not be in mental conflict, right? Yeah. So this is pretty much where you're getting these insecurities from, and thinking you're, of the insecurities, but yet praying and staying as hopeful and faithful as you can. So you're over here in the waiting game. It feels just like everything I worked so hard for. I was getting ready to do this and do that, maybe with some money. Maybe you were waiting for your tax money to come in and you were going to go do something, and now it just feels everything's a waste, and I won't be able to pay my bills. I will not be able to do these things. You feel like this is bad luck, a turn for the worse. Okay, there's nothing you can do. You're in your insecurities because you know there's nothing you can do to stand your ground. How are you going to stand your ground? And this is why the sacrifice card is upside down. It wasn't some kind of transition that you really wanted to do for yourself. It was almost like it was they made you do this, right? So you couldn't stand your ground in the movement, choices, decisions, because you can't make any of these decisions. These decisions were made for you. Okay, so here's that intuition coming into that spiritual strength, and I think this is where, even though you're feeling insecure, you're trying your hardest to use the wisdom, trying to use that intuition, trying to do as much as you can, because you have this patience and planning upside down. And I think the upside down patience and planning is because you don't know how long you're going to be waiting. Okay, so how are you going to 100% use patience and planning when you don't even know what the waiting time period is? It's not like anybody gave you a waiting time period. They did probably, oh, there it goes, guys. They probably did at one time, and yeah, they kind of did, didn't they? They said, oh, we will be in this for the next couple of weeks or until this week or whatever. And now all of a sudden it's like, now they're telling us they don't even know a time. So now I just have to sit around and wait. So, yeah. It's you bringing your hopes and promises down, because they can't give you any hopes and promises. This is why you're bringing your spiritual strength in, because the only thing you feel like is there's no hopes and promises for a time period. I can't patiently plan on something I know nothing about. So all I can do is pray and keep the faith. Okay? There's no defending this or challenging this. You can't challenge something you don't know. Okay? Yeah. And then using your intuition again, and using that faith, that hope, and that intuition, and trying to figure these things out, right? So, yeah, it's like you feel like you're kind of stuck in a rut, okay? Because if anything, like I said, they give you a time period, and now you're like in a delay. The more they keep delaying this to tell you that you can go back to work, the more, you're upside down, right? You don't feel like you have the support. There's nothing coming in. There's no money. There's no nothing. It's almost like you're looking out to find the spiritual strength, is what I'm thinking. The Two of Wands over here is just looking out to find this spiritual strength, trying to keep yourself hopeful. Right? So you have the Six of Pentacles over here. You can't even beg anybody for anything. There is really nothing you can do. You feel like it's unfair. This is unfair. I don't see how this is possible. Okay. So in the near future over here, you have to rest and rejuvenation. You're just to the point where it's like, I'm not resting and rejuvenating on this anymore. I've done everything that I feel like I can do, and I just, memories of love. I'm just going to take a tower. And it could be on the spiritual union as well. So maybe for some of you, this is also a relationship. I've done everything in this relationship. There's nothing else I can do. And maybe this also has to do with your partner as well, right? The two of you are having the same tower moment, having the same feelings. You're both not at work. You're both not bringing any money. You're not feeling your material harvest coming in. Okay? Feeling tempted. feeling like you're stuck in chaos still in the near future, because the near future right here is only about, you know, somewhere between a month. So you're not, you know, you're not feeling a whole lot of difference, but you're still looking for that fulfillment of wishes. And I think it's because no matter what, even though you might not be resting or rejuvenating and doing the meditation that you were doing before, and maybe you're getting out of these insecurities, there's not a whole lot that you can really do at this time. And now you've just kind of given up the ghost in that area, but it seems like you're still keeping strength with spirit. Your spiritual strength is still standing by you because you're still praying for the fulfillment of wishes and the material harvest. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, you're no longer in that hermit mode thinking about that, because it's kind of like in some ways you feel like you've kind of given up the ghost. And if this is a relationship, which I can also see on the other end, we'll go with that scenario as well. You've had your cups, you felt like you had victory, something happened in the relationship, you felt that this person was a waste of your time, you're not taking any apologies or offerings from this other person, you do not feel like there's any perfect timing within the material harvest, and it's still, no matter what, it's still going back to, even with the love in here, it's going back to the same story as in story number 1. Still don't feel my material harvest right here. I'm still waiting around for this money to come in. I'm still not feeling good from this money, and yet this person over here is driving me crazy because they're not getting money, but we keep texting each other, trying to keep, and maybe you know that, you know, they're doing whatever they're doing and you feel like they're a waste of your time, but yet they keep texting you and you're like using your intuition going, you know, I can't deal with you right now. I'm kind of going through my own thing. Because you're in this mental conflict. And it feels like they're kind of in a mental conflict as well. It's almost like you both are feeling the same way and you're kind of getting on each other's nerves. Because no matter what, storyline 1 is still coming into play with the love. And maybe that's where the rest and rejuvenation is that you're not giving any more to this relationship at all. Well, you're not resting and relaxing because you're using your spiritual strength to stay strong. But you have the memories of love, but you're not really meditating on that right now because you took a tower. Yeah. Somebody's feeling grumpy. You got the Emperor over here being grumpy. They're being grumpy. You're taking a separation right now because you feel like you have some pain that's going on and you just don't want to deal with the fighting. It's almost like maybe this whole ordeal of money has caused fighting. Okay? You're not going to reassess anything that's going on with this, yet you are moving towards. What are you moving towards? Hold on a second. But you are moving towards, you're moving towards the spiritual strength for the fulfillment of wishes. That's where you're moving towards. That's why you don't want to give the relationship this time any more attention. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. Okay, and I have Taurus over here as well, who's upset, angry, and every time you're talking to them, you guys can't see eye to eye. Okay, but you're holding tight to the money that you still have. And you're still trying to hold on to the promises, and I'm going to say that spiritual strength that you have going on right here. Holding on to the money and what little things you still have. Yep, there's that tower again. Because you took a tower. You could be dealing with an Aries as well, Libra. You could be dealing with this is an Aries card. So it could be Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo. And they have you looking out and you're like, I'm too busy to talk to you. I'm too busy holding on to my spiritual strength and trying to figure out how to not have this huge tower moment completely kill me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so you're taking a loss and you know you're taking a big hit. That's what I'm really hearing. I don't even know how much of a loss this really is, guys, but it's a big hit, and you know it. And that's exactly how you feel. You're taking a material and money, material prosperity, money hit. And you're trying to figure things out without having to fight with this other person, argue with this other person. This other person seems to want to get their ego involved in something that you don't have time for at this time. I don't have time. I'm sorry that you're going through the same thing. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just playing an ego game with you while you're in the middle of doing something very rough at this time. Okay? So, let's get some light and love cards over here going on. Yeah, and it looks like that's exactly what's going on with you guys. You're taking a hit, and it's almost like either they're right there with you or they are not getting it. Maybe they have the me syndrome. When you're like, I can't pay attention to you right now. I've got other things to do. Okay? Move boldly into the golden future. And I love that because it's sitting right next to the spiritual strength card. So it's telling you move boldly, move strong, use the faith to get into the golden future. Right? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. And maybe that's exactly what you're doing, right? You're waiting. Okay? You're waiting. You're waiting for him to say, now. You're waiting for whatever message to come through. You're waiting for something to happen. Waiting for a miracle. Trust. Trust. It's kind of like that saying, seek and you will find. But you just have to keep trusting. And even when the roughest times come, you don't want to give up. In fact, that's when you really want to knock on that door, right? Knock on that door. Make that chariot move. Knock. Keep knocking. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Right? Keep knocking until that door is open, until that path comes. And yes, no matter what, have faith. Because even though you're going to have a tower, the tower is going to happen whether you like it or not. And you know this. Okay? But it doesn't mean it's quick time. You could have a separation. Some of you may know that this is a time of separation. I have a separation card here. You gave me 3 of Swords. I don't have time for this. It doesn't mean it has to be a permanent separation. It just could be separating yourself from this person while you're taking time out to do something else. Okay? Whatever you're waiting for is worth waiting. Divine timing is a work in your love life. So it's worth waiting for. You keep knocking. It's worth waiting for that door to open. And express your love. If you have somebody else that you're looking at and you're trying to close the door on somebody else, trust that new path to that new love that you're looking at, because this might be a lost love. Somebody that you're saying, I'm done. We're separated. I'm done. Okay? Maybe you have somebody else waiting on the sidelines. Yeah, somebody else, a true love, perhaps. This is a romance of a lifetime. If not, then you're putting this other person into a separation, okay? And later you can express your love to this person and say, okay, look, our separation is over. I've got my head together. Everything is fine. I know you're my true love, okay? And we can do this, okay? But you have to understand that I'm worth waiting for. You're worth waiting for, however it's going to be. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. There's thousands of you, and I'm trying to pick out as many scenarios because I know, that I can hear 2 or 3 different scenarios right now, and I know that one of you is like, I'm not going to completely leave them. I just don't have time for them. And then some of you are like, this is gone. I'm done. They don't even have respect. I'm going through this and don't even have to respect me. Their ego's way too big being over here with the Emperor, right? Okay, and then for others of you, it's just showing not even so much ego as much It's like they're going through a weakness as well, and they need me attention, and you don't have time. Okay? And so you guys are kind of, like I said, battling it out. Okay? So, be the bee. Spread heart healing with joy. Try to be the bumblebee as much, or the honeybee, excuse me, as much as possible. Okay? Just try to keep yourself as lighthearted as possible. And be the turtle. Be joyful and trusting. And there's that trust again. The Lord says, the universe says, Spirit says, be the turtle. Try not to just, sit over here in insecurities too long. Okay? Because what's going to happen is what's going to happen. Okay? Be true to yourself, and the universe will reward you. And I know it's hard to say that. And I know it's so terrible when you have to say things like this. It's like, but I'm feeling it, he's feeling it, she's feeling it, the whole world is feeling it. So all we can do at this time is just be ourselves and trust that the universe is going to have our back as long as we have faith. Okay? Okay, guys. And I will see you at mid-month, okay? And peace and love to each and every one of you. And I'm going to pray for you guys and keep you guys in my my faith and my prayers when I'm praying, because this is rough and everybody is going, through this. I've seen this a lot during this month, and I'm just praying that we all get through this together. Okay? If you like this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys at mid-month, and it's nighttime here, so that's why I said midnight. At mid-month. And peace and love to each and every one of you. Bye-bye.